Yeah, I keep seeing in the chat. Hello. I keep seeing in the chat about the Lions, but I'm not sure.
Who's in the Super Bowl?
Y'all help us out in the chat. I know it's the Chiefs because I heard that about Taylor being at the Super Bowl too, and all the MAGA people getting pissed.
Listen, I stopped watching the football since the Kaepernick stuff happened, so I ain't got no skin in the game. But I will say, go Kansas City Chiefs, if anything, just to make MAGA heads explode. Just I'm petty. Just because I'm petty. So, they're saying that, yeah, the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs and who else?
It's not next weekend because next weekend is the Grammy Awards, so it must be the following weekend or something. 49ers and Lions are still playing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're still. See, if the 49ers are in, I'll watch it. If they're not, I don't care. I don't care nothing about football unless you say the words 49ers.
I see, and that was the thing. I used to be a huge 49ers fan until they did Colin Kaepernick dirty like that, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm never watching you all ever again. I kept my jerseys and everything, but no.
21-7. Who's got 21? Who's got 7?
Lions are ahead, she's saying.
Oh.
That's probably what Peanut upstairs is watching because I just don't care. But I will say, go Kansas City Chiefs.
We had mouse.
Lions are winning? Okay, well, then they're going because you ain't coming back from a 21-7.
Well, it's in the second quarter, though, right?
Okay, well, they got a little time.
They got some time.
February 11th, Super Bowl. Okay.
Who's performing? Is it Usher?
Yes.
Usher at the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm. That'll be good. He's a right entertainer for that.
It's a shame it's not Taylor.
I know. I mean, talk about it would be great if she performed and then the Kansas City Chiefs won. That would be I would love it. And I'm not a Swiftie. I don't listen to her music. I've never heard one of her songs or nothing, but troll them, girl. Troll them all day, every day.
It's a person on Twitter. It says that the Democrats are using demonic and Luciferian, that's her word, Luciferian ways because Taylor Swift has led the youth down the path of something and destruction.
To get them,
to get them to register to vote, yes.
Yeah, Taylor
What about
Swift,
Kid Rock? What's he led them to?
Swift is getting kids to be demonic by encouraging them to vote.
Luciferian ways, and of course, I had to say something. Like, first of all, Lucifer was an angel.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, if you want to blame somebody for Luciferian ways, then blame the God that made him.
Because he was supposed to be all knowing, all powerful, all everything. He sure.
Let's calm down with Taylor as Lucifer, please.
Jennie, I saw somebody in the chat wanting to know the kitty cat's name.
This is Roro that's on the table right now, licking her belly. Skewy caught a mouse sometime during the night, so we had a mouse I found when I came down this morning, a partial mouse anyway. I haven't found the rest of it.
Oh, no. No. The worst thing that Braxy has brought me is her chewed up goat horn. Like, it's like, okay, have fun. We started school with her on last Tuesday. It was her first day of class. She did really, really good. There was only, remember you guys were pulling cards for me and you guys kept getting the 3 of cups, 3 of pentacles. There was only 3 people there, including us.
Cool.
So that worked out.
Her attention is so intent on you. I can imagine, like, she doesn't get too distracted by other dogs.
Yes, she does. She does. When we go to places, like when we take her out to socialize and stuff, and there's a lot going on, like when we took her to the beach, when we first got on the beach, she was just kind of like all over the place because there was just first time there, all these dogs running around going crazy. But she did really good in the class. There was another little girl dog there that she was whining Braxy was whining because she wanted to play with the little dog. But other than that, she did really good. So we've been practicing with her throughout the week. And then on Tuesday, we go back for class for an hour. And Tuesday is training on loose leash walking, which she does okay. Again, when we're in an area like around the neighborhood, she's really good. If we take her anywhere where there's a lot of stuff going on, it's just forget about it, So we'll be working on that starting Tuesday and then all throughout the week until we go back to class because it's 6 weeks. So, but yeah, she's been good. And then we took her to the vet. Well, we didn't go to the vet. The vet's office is just there. We weighed her. She's at 78 pounds now.
Somebody's asking when she sees the former guy on TV, does she growl?
No.
She doesn't watch him. She likes doggy TV.
Doggy TV. She really liked the ducks and the horses and everything else. It was the dogs on doggy TV that she was like.
What was it? The History Channel?
The History Channel. She'll watch, like the other day we were down here and Peanut was watching, I think he was watching football, and she was just sitting there watching the TV, so she's been doing really good.
My cats always like figure skating. When they start, swirling around the ice, they would get up there and try to catch the figure skaters.
Yeah, we were watching the snowboarders the day before yesterday, and she was watching them. So, but yeah, she's doing good, everybody. She's doing really good. So, how's everything going with you guys? Jennie, your seminar, do you want to?
Yeah, my seminar, if you'd like to register for it, the Healing Energy Seminar, there's 2 events, so pick which weekend you want to go. It's either June 14th or June 21st through the 23rd. It's a Friday night, Saturday all day, and half day Sunday. When you purchase a ticket for it, you'll get a confirmation email that has information about a hotel right across the street with a coupon code, so you can get a discount on that hotel. Also, I think we finally got it fixed. I had a problem with time zones on my website because my website is set for when you book a reading, it shows you availability in your time zone where your computer is, but it shows on my schedule in my time zone. Well, it was doing that for the seminar, so we kept messing with it, and people kept getting emails every time we would change it that the seminar had moved. No, the seminar is not moved. And if you look at the times on the website, Friday night is 6 to 8 p.m. Portland time, Saturday 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So we think we got it fixed now where it's not jacking that up so much. So sorry about the confusing emails that went out.
Mm-hmm.
I sound muted. Uh-oh.
You sound fine to me. Does she sound okay to you, Johnie?
Well, she turned her speaker down. Does that also turn your microphone down too?
I don't know. I'm going to go into audio and see if mic volume, turn it up a little. Is that better?
Sounds fine to me.
Because my voice is coming out of her speaker. That's where people keep hearing the feedback.
The echo.
Yeah.
Because my speaker's built into the laptop, so it's right by the microphone.
Yeah, everybody in the chat saying you sound fine, Jennie.
Okay.
So yeah. What about you, Mr. Johnie? Anything up with you that?
Friday, Sacred Sounds Like Coffee is on Gail's channel, Spark Soul Journey. So if y'all want to join us for Sacred Sounds of Coffee this Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time.
March 3rd is the tarot class. If you want to enroll in that, then send me an email to reserve a spot. And then when the time comes, I'll send you all the info if you're still interested. But March 3rd is the next tarot class. March 3rd, 2 p.m.
And I know that I have a couple of grand tableaus. I'll try to get on that this week. Not Tuesday, though, because Tuesday we have class for little Miss Braxy down here. And for the person that was asking, she is a Cane Corso, an Italian Mastiff. And another public service announcement that I was sharing with Johnie and Jennie. For those of you that have a Trader Joe's, run, because they have these back in stock for Valentine's Day. Heart-shaped macarons. I think the white ones here are the vanilla strawberry, and then the pink ones are raspberry. So it comes with 8 macarons, but these are super tasty.
So one serving.
That's for me. And then they have these two, which I've been eating. The jelly bean hearts are so freaking delicious. And they have these also in gummies, like, you know, like the gummy bears, but they're like little gummy hearts, I think. And I bought a pack, but they're in my car for when Peanut's blood sugar gets low. And then they have heart-shaped ravioli, 3 cheese ravioli in the fresh section. So I bought every, like the lady at the checkout was like, "This is a very festive cart." And I said, "Yes, it is." And then they have these too. It's like a lip mask duo. I guess they're supposed to be a dupe for the ones that they sell at Sephora, the Laneige. I think it's like $15 or $20. But this one has 2. And one of them is chocolate berry and the other, this one is chocolate and this one is berry. But this was like $7. And it has a little thing here so you can gift them too. So run your asses to Trader Joe's. This is not sponsored. I just love Trader Joe's. So yeah, and I know Johnie doesn't like Trader Joe's, but
No.
and I got more period cakes, Johnie. I got more. The fridge is stocked. I told Peanut, I said, "Do not touch them. Do not."
Lynn Tarot readings for the super chat.
Hi, Lynn. How are you? So
Yeah, it's funny. I stocked up on groceries before we got the 15 inches of snow and stuff. So, you know, my freezer's full of veggies and stuff, and I had fresh veggies and everything. So I went grocery shopping after my guitar lesson Thursday. And I came out, and it's like, all I bought was junk. I didn't have any snack stuff.
I packed up on snack stuff because I went in there to get like 3 things. I had to get onions, peppers, and something else. And then I saw that they had all their seasonal stuff for Valentine's. And next thing I know, I walked out of there $100 worth of just junk. You know? I was like, oh, well, Peanut, if your blood sugar gets low, I got you covered, you know? So yeah.
We warmed up into the 40s, so our snow is melting off finally.
I was telling Jennie and Johnie, for those of you guys in the chat, we are supposed to be getting snow in the mountains Wednesday through the weekend this week. So I told Jennie and Johnie, I was like, if it snows, I'm packing my stuff up and taking Braxy up to my brother-in-law's house because he lives up there in the mountains. And
you got to do some live videos of her.
I won't be able to do
snow.
live because the cell phone reception up there is non-existent. So I'll have to record it and then upload it. But so I'm excited about that. And I was like, and one of the books I've been waiting for the last 2 years comes out on Tuesday. My pre-order was supposed to get here Friday. I just got an email that said it's been delayed. And I was like, that's okay. I already took Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off work. I already asked for PTO to read that book when it comes out. So we'll be good. But just FYI, you know.
The Becca will be in do not disturb mode Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. The flowers from Trader Joe's, they do last forever. Like, I don't know, you know those little packs that you put into the flowers? I don't know if it's that or just the flowers themselves, but they last forever. And they're really very well priced too. Like, you can get a whole bouquet of roses, any color, for like $8, wow, which is insane. Yeah. Yeah.
Trader Johnny's. Big Kit Kats and tarot cards everywhere.
The name of the book, Terry, it's the Crescent City 3. So I'm like, hold on. I'm rereading. I just finished reading book 1. I'm rereading book 2. I'm only like that far. So I have about 200 and something pages. I'm on page 602 out of 802. So about 200 pages or 100 pages. Yeah, 200, right? Am I mathing? Yeah. Yeah. So it's the third one of this. So been waiting 2 whole years. 2 whole years for it to come out. But anyways, enough of that. Any other announcements or the flooding in San Diego? We were okay up here. One of my coworkers' house, I told Jennie about it. It was flooded, like up to the windows. She couldn't get out of her house. They were evacuating that whole area. So I called her to see if she needed anything. And then I realized I can't go down there because it's all flooded. They have everything closed off. So she was able to get out of the house with her work computer and her 4 cats with the clothes on her back and no shoes, running around trying to, I was like, oh my God. So her insurance is paying for her hotel, and they start demo and repairs on her house on Monday, which is really quick, but
usually when there's flooding, because I remember when Nashville had flooding, my sister, her neighbors, all their houses went under. My sister's was on higher ground, so it didn't flood. So she had a lot of neighbors staying with her, but they went in there and rip out the wall board immediately so you don't start getting a mold issue.
Mold, yeah. And then one of my other coworkers sent me videos of downtown San Diego. It was like a river ran through there. There was cars floating down the street, running into stuff. I was like, holy crap.
We had flash flooding here, but not in the area I live. But as you went in closer to Chicago, and I believe it was more southeast of Chicago, they had flash flooding and a lot of houses ruined. So the snow was melting off so quick it caused flash flooding.
Yeah, it's like we've had a relatively dry winter so far, but then like everything happened in like a day and a half. Like it just dumped water, and then it's supposed to rain again this week, but I don't know how bad. So I'm wondering if those areas are going to be impacted again, because that would suck if the insurance is out there starting to demo her house and everything. I mean, she lost her cars, her motorcycles, like everything. So if they start demoing the house only to get another downpour, it's like, holy hell. But whatever. I hope those people are okay, because there's, I guess, a bunch of people that were impacted. So
I tell you, when it starts like that, as soon as you start seeing standing water on the roads, you got to get out with your pets while you can.
Yeah. Luckily for us, we're not. Johnny's been to my house. We're not in a flood zone. I mean, it would take a meteor hitting the ocean for it to like come over here. Like it wouldn't. We're okay over here, thank God. But so, anyways, I guess we can get started. Are you guys okay with that, or do you have anything else? No?
I did read a message that I found quite hilarious, that for all of those who said that Donald Trump is not a good businessman, you have to eat your words this week or couple weeks, because he turned $5 million into $88 million in less than a year. So
and you know what? You know what I saw? Since he got that $83 million second thing for E. Jean Carroll, he hasn't said a word. Hasn't said a word. So yeah, it does work.
They're talking in the chat. SNL last night had a skit. They were making fun of the tarot card reader that had been on Fox News. So they had a tarot card reader, but it wasn't true tarot cards. She had like newsman. It was a really funny. If you haven't seen that skit, I think Karin Conroy just posted a link to it.
So I guess we can start here. And I'll preface this by everybody in the chat, calm down. I'm not here to alarm anybody. This is just speculation. We can think the worst, which I've thought the worst, but just don't get crazy. Okay. So Trump was at a caucus rally. I'm not sure where. I didn't catch that part. But he's on film saying, and I quote, "There's 100% chance that there will be a major terrorist attack in the United States this year, or many attacks, maybe," end quote. Okay, so this is a former US president, a current candidate for president, who stole classified documents, is under 90-something federal indictments, just got fined twice for defamation, who was found guilty of raping a woman. And the first thing that ran through my head was, what did he do? What did he do? You know, like my mind went there.
I got several different ways I want to look at this. So if we can ask, did he contact a foreign country?
Which, let me tell you, he would have to be 8 million ways stupid to Sunday, considering that he's got DOJ and Jack Smith breathing down his neck to contact a foreign country and go, hey, I want you to plan a terrorist attack on our country so I can win the election.
Did he say a foreign terror attack, or did he say a domestic?
He said terrorist.
There's a 100% chance that there will be a major terrorist attack in the United States, or many attacks, maybe. Those were his words on film.
So I would start with, did he contact a foreign leader for entertainment purposes only, YouTube?
So did he contact a foreign leader?
And then I want to look at, is he
to ask them
getting like Peanut Butter Boys or somebody to do a domestic one?
Did he contact a foreign government to plan an attack on U.S. soil? That's how I'm going to word mine. But go ahead and tell me, America first how?
Yeah.
Make that make sense?
Yes, because he's out of balance and looking for support from a foreign leader. There's the messaging, the contacting. That's a yes card for me in the root of this. What I get, though, because I have the hangman on the bottom, he's done this in the past. He's talked to them in the past about this, so he's waiting on just the right time, like not yet, not yet, not yet. He's looking at his options, and what I'm getting is as more and more of this court stuff keeps going, that's when he's going to tell them, do something now, get our government going, do something that ends our sense of security. So it's based around how his court cases are going.
What'd you get, Johnny?
I don't get he contacted anybody, but it's not answering that specifically in this. What it's telling me is he did this for the purpose of confusion and fear tactics, that type of thing. He's trying to look like the person who is strong, the person who is defending America, who he called it, because he speaks in hyperbole. So there's going to be a major this and a major that, and there's no atom bomb dropping or nothing like that. So you keep that in mind too, that that's just the way he speaks, but he wants to be looked at as the person who is defending with the 7 of Wands and who has the strong and the strength, and he's the strong leader. This wouldn't have happened if I was there, type of thing, because then there's your tower, the upheaval, and that type of thing. So it's more of, because here's my America card, and it comes with the moon. It also comes with the Wheel of Fortune, which means this has a date already set, whatever it is that he's trying to do or whatever it is that he wants to have happen. The opportunity, though, is still quite small for him to actually pull all this off. because that's your word of warning. So keep that in mind too. But he just wants to be looked at as the person. If he was here, it wouldn't have happened, type of thing. Because that's what they're already touting over on the Twitters. Is World War III wouldn't have happened if Donald Trump was in office, and the conflict in the sea. And like, if he was here, all of this wouldn't have happened. And so that's what he's doing now, and that's what he's going to continue to do later.
Kind of like how over 1 million Americans wouldn't have died had he not been president during COVID. Make it make sense, Johnny. Please make it make sense. I get that this is kind of looking like a yes. He's very optimistic about having a very positive, alluring reputation, his fame via contacts or people that he's connected to. So here's my next question. All speculation. The intelligence agencies, because he's got Jack Smith breathing down his nose and everybody else, and he's still not cognizant of what comes out of his mouth if he's out there at a rally talking about this sort of stuff. Have intelligence agencies been alerted to this? Exactly, Peggy.
Big time, yes. That are already in the past, and I would say, Biden and Kamala, because I have my Kamala card here, probably are also very aware there's unfinished work with Trump, because he's unbalanced. But I'm getting that there's communication that they've intercepted about America, and there's a whole network working on this. So I get a big ol' yes. It's not yet though. It's something a little further out. Like they're aware of timing even, it looks like.
I'll say yes, because this reading again is talking about something else. Are we going to do this all night? Good Lord. The Eight of Wands and the Ace of Wands, or the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. This action has been taken. Trump's action has been taken. There is a leader here that has been removed or will be removed from wherever it is that they are, and they funnel information from that way. There's whatever his attack is, it should be coming from that direction. But the Devil and the Four of Swords, yes, somebody is lying in wait. The Ten of Swords in Hermit. That's where the leader is removed from, wherever that happens. If it's not happened yet, it's going to. But yeah, there's sort of a lying in wait type of thing. There's also some sort of bait too that has been laid out to see if someone does make a move in this direction. The High Priestess, the energy and information has already been received. So yes, and there's justice.
I got a yes as well. The man mailed something that is a betrayal. So make of that what you will, considering that they still haven't found that binder or half of the other stuff that he took.
Can we ask this? Because, like, he just filed something in the courts down in Georgia about Fani Willis because she spoke on Martin Luther King Day at a service in his honor, and he waited like 2 weeks, later to file this in court, that she's racist and prejudiced against him. It's like, well, he waited because he needed deflection from E. Jean Carroll and the verdict there, right? Is he is he waiting to tell him, like, go, when he gets a guilty verdict that could potentially send him to jail? Like the Jack Smith case, or
Like, how's that going to help you?
yeah, is he waiting
Because if
till
anything, they're going to take what you said on film, backtrack, reverse engineer everything, piece it all together, and hit you with something else.
a bunch of more felonies for treason and everything else? So is he are they waiting for him to give the go ahead based on the trial outcomes?
Nobody said this man was smart.
Except him.
Biggest, most brilliant brain ever. He makes Einstein look like a moron. He's so
He'd
smart.
be the smartest person in a room full of paint cans. That's what it is.
In a room full of paint cans, is that what
Maybe. Yes, there's anticipation here. Nine of Swords, worried about something. Again, there is your avenues. This I think these are indicative of people. Whoever the Seven of Cups is, people of chaos and confusion. It's not chaos. The card doesn't mean chaos, but there's some sort of there's gaslighting. There's the people that are the lemmings that he has following him. Those people. So this is not coming from some brown country, even if the people who were to try to pull off such a thing were that color. I think this is a domestic thing, and it just may involve people who would make him look as though he is the hero, because remember my Muslim ban and all those kind of stupid things.
For the person in the chat, no. The day Biden was sworn in, they stopped all security briefings to Trump. And they said Biden said he was a liability. And then years later, we found out, oh, he stole a bunch of stuff. So
there's a few options too. I get on when he's going to release the trigger, but I get a yes, like he'll tell them, like, there's a plan in place and it'll get off the ground here in the future when he tells them, okay, it's time to strike and create the chaos. And I get definitely around the indictments and all the court cases and everything, and especially if he loses and his burden, that's when the agreement is to do a sneak attack.
I get when the innocence is taken away, that's when it's answered. That's when he puts out the call. Also, there's a small team. It's a very small team that answer the call. Any other questions in regards to that we can think of?
It's just keep in mind, we're not talking about boots on the ground invasion type thing. This is maybe even something smaller than a Gen 6 thing, but it's the same kind of flavor. So,
Yeah.
Well, is this something that will be intercepted? Will they have enough information to intercept this?
I mean, you got to be effing stupid. But like Johnny said, he's the smartest person in a room full of paint cans.
because isn't the United States going through, what is it, Uranus return or something of that nature? So the tensions are building, and this is kind of like this is scripted right now. This is just where we are. Yes, empty paint cans at that.
Empty paint cans.
by the way, if anybody didn't see the video I did with Victoria Skirbo on Monday last week, she did my astrology chart, and I asked her if she would do it so that you guys could see what it's like to get your astrology chart read. So anybody that's interested in seeing that, it was really interesting. My healing abilities, like it was all over my chart. I came in to be a healer and to work on that. So my seminars are just right on time. And there's like, if you're born around the same time I am, I was born in 1961, so like 1959 to 67, a lot of those outer planets are going to be the same for you. So a lot of the things in my chart apply to the generation of that time, like Pluto placement and Saturn.
You got the power.
I got the power. Do the healing. It's all over my chart in multiple ways. I was like, wow.
Well, speaking of healing, I got the Temperance and the Ace of Swords. So yes, there is some sort of interception going on. Well, let me say it this way: the information has been received. The information has been received. There is the Hangman and the Five of Wands, so conflict is halted, or conflict is stalled, I should say. That doesn't mean that it won't start. That means it's stalled. And so just like Gen 6, how they can start and then get dispersed type of thing. The Hierophant and the Five of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, there is something within the government or a target of maybe governmental people. And this is not president. This could be people in the House, possibly, because it's more of them than anybody else. And so there's that. It ends in the King of Swords, and Donald Trump is going to be a target after this. And so there is ruin and loss. That, mind you, there's the Wheel of Fortune. So this is not like it happens in the next 3 minutes after all this goes down, but have to wait on that one too.
I get definitely a yes crowning the reading. They've already got who's the emissary for the king, who's taking the orders. They've already got secret information, and definitely the surprise that is planned. So I definitely get like they've got information to stand on higher ground from somebody moving on us with the strategy. I'm also getting, I feel like this may be Nikki Haley may become a target also. Because he didn't want to lose to a woman like he did E.G. and Carol.
I get a yes. It'll take a little bit of time. It's not going to happen next week, next month, but
yeah,
they're on it. They're on it. Anything else?
I think they kind of know, like it's going to be timed around a verdict, so they'll nip it in the bud before it starts, but give him enough rope to hang himself.
The Wheel of Fortune is scheduled. It's like there's a specific time for it. This is not random. And he didn't say that randomly. He doesn't say anything just randomly.
I got a couple of questions to lighten it up for a second about Boebert.
I had her on the list too to ask about.
She was at her new district, and there's like 8 or 9 GOP people, doing a town hall questioning and stuff. There's like 8 or 9 GOP people she's running against in that district up on the stage. And there were 2 things that I wanted to look at. The first, they asked them, like, who here has been arrested? And like almost every single one of them had raised their hands. One of the guys was arrested for DUI and having
the people running?
Yeah, that are running against her in the GOP. So it's like, okay, like, and the crowd's just applauding, like, good for you, you've been arrested, yay, you're one of us.
Freaking traffic ticket. I would not be sitting there waving my hand all proud, like, yep, I've been arrested. I got arrested.
One of them arrested for DUI with a gun, and then I saw a tape of it on Midas Touch, and the guy is like drunk, and they're like, "Don't pull the gun out, hang on, dude, your DUI." Like, okay, the family morals are out the window. They're okay with you drinking and driving, and killing people.
Yeah,
they're okay with that.
Yeah.
So I want to know.
Please tell me how the gays are killing people and turning people into
How they're such a threat when like almost every single person on the stage raised their hand. So I want to know how Lauren Boebert will do against these other GOP people.
I'm going to sit this one out because I have another question to follow up.
And I have another one after this too because of something Boebert said. How will Boebert do against the other GOP candidates that have?
I mean, she found her tribe.
She was one that raised her hand. She'd been arrested. Oh, and she claimed that she moved to that district because her family needed a fresh start after the divorce. It's like, no, you moved there because you knew you were going to lose your district.
Fresh start from what?
From the husband that got arrested just a couple of weeks ago. Moving from the theater where you like to grope people and with families and kids around. She's such a moron.
That is not something to be proud of. That is not. These people couldn't get a security clearance to save their lives, and they're over there like, yeah, let me run for office.
Lauren said, like that guy had his gun taken away from him. That was DUI with a gun in the car, loaded gun. She said, I hope you get your gun back soon, your gun rights back soon. And it's like, no, you're out drinking and driving, and
with a loaded
could have died.
Mm-hmm. Like Johnie says, we share a planet with these people.
That was just going through my brain piece now. Like, what? Why?
Johnie, telepathy right here.
Like, we live down here with these people. Drunk, driving, got a gun. I hope you get your gun back. Give them the alcohol in the car back too. Then just give them.
Like, okay, everybody go drink and drive, and let's throw all our families out there on the roads while they're drinking and driving. Mm-hmm. I guess she's not going to have enough votes. I get her power is kaput. She's out in the cold, especially from families and family values. I get there's a man that'll win in the GOP there that has a connection to that district, so known in that district, but yeah, she's done.
There's some man in the environment here. He is, he's just as nuts as she is. He's a basket case, King of Cups in the Page of Swords. He has anyway. There is in the Six of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Her security is quite troubled, but it's not impossible. But it's quite troubled. It ends in the death and the Queen of Wands. So there will be a major change for her. I think she has more of a chance than not. This, if I had to just give yes or no, I would say she has a good chance. Yes, she would win. If I just had to say yes or no. But it looks like he is a major problem, and he's got more money than she does, or can draw more money than she can.
Okay, so something else she said, to get really petty. Boebert said that she's at her best when she's on her knees. Let your imagination go with that. So,
I mean, she's so dumb. She's so dumb that she doesn't realize what a self-own that was.
Like what a double entendre is. So, when she's on her knees, what is she the best at?
The emperor flew out, so I'm not going to go there. But oh my God, what is wrong?
She's
with
not
her?
bad in a movie theater in the dark, but
What is she,
she's
the
at her
best
best when she's on her knees.
Pleasuring a man in public. Man, pleasure, public. There's your answer. Requires me being petty today. Thank you, Johnie, for the little tiles because you're being very petty. Pleasuring a man in public.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm done. The Emperor and Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is dates in romance and charm and wit. It ain't conversation. She's not looking for a microphone on her knees. Maybe something to speak into, but it's not a microphone. What is wrong with this child? Anybody?
Well, I get it's work, so maybe escort service, like something she's paid for, and bullying people for money.
Wait.
It's about money. It's not about anything spiritual.
Listen, I have no problem with people doing sex work. Regulate it, tax it. You're not going to get rid of it, But to punch down on people when you're doing the same is the hypocrisy. I can't stand it,
Yeah, and then to act like I'm such a great Christian, I pray all the time. It's like, yeah you don't, you're not on your knees in that way enough.
Speaking
As the message said, Jesus regrets dying for you. Shut up.
Okay, so my follow-up was, as of yesterday, Boebert finished 5th in a straw poll for the GOP primary in her new district. She finished 5th. I think we've already covered it. So my question is, because at this point, there's no way in hell she's getting into office. At this point, because we being petty, what is Bimbo Boebert going to do once she's out of Washington?
Because she won't be, you have to serve 5 years before you get a pension, to be vested, to get a government pension. So she'll lose any pension ability.
So what is she going to do when
she sounds like an evangelical preacher every time she talks now? So it wouldn't surprise me if she starts the Church of Boebert.
We're talking about a girl that bragged about taking her GED like 5 or 6 times and giving birth to her firstborn child in the front seat of a truck. That's not something to fucking brag about. Like, I mean, I don't know who needs to hear this, but that's not something to be proud of. I gave birth to my firstborn child in the front seat of a truck at the age of 16. Great. Wonderful. So what is she going to do when she leaves Washington?
I don't know. I mean, if I were just being petty, I know, but I don't know. I don't know what it actually says.
What'd you get? Let me see.
She would be a fighter, as in, like, in the ring, like UFC or some sort of wrestler.
Oh my God, can you imagine? The girl weighs 20 pounds, soaking wet.
The grandma.
Her and Marjorie. But there's some sort of conflict, like a professional craft starter type of thing. Not a lobbyist, though, because this is not raising money. This is being hired to literally cause conflict, to fight. So she would be maybe someone on the not MSNBC, not Fox News. What's that other one? Like a Newsmax or One America News or whatever they call those type. Like, it's because it's really small. It's not big and established, something like that. But it's not a job. It's like a contributor. But she's meant to start mess. It might even be Twitter. Like she gets a podcast or something like that. But it's a creative venture, and it's meant to start mess. It's meant to.
I got that too. Podcast situation. Somewhere I got the sun, the birds, the heart, the ship, and the book. She might have some success somewhere where she's running her mouth, either a podcast, as a radio, because the birds has to do with radios and phones and stuff, interviewing people. This is the card of interviews. So it could be that she's giving dating advice as well for maggots. You know, she interviews a lot of people that are foreign, though, and she spews a lot of stuff, sympathy and love for. There's someone foreign here. Blowbert. That is being kept secret, but it like Johnny said, it's almost like it's a talk radio podcast. It's not well known though. It's almost like fringe because it ends in book. So it's not doesn't have a huge audience is what I'm trying to say.
If you know, you know type thing.
Yeah, if you know, you know type of thing. So it could be, but it's stupid stuff like dating advice, interviewing people, propaganda sort of stuff, that thing.
Whatever it is, it's collaborative. It's something that she's done in the past. Maybe working with lover boys that have some money. Because she's going to be very, very burdened. She might be either working, doing things with donors or lobbyists, doing something with, here she is. Need I say more? I'm not sure that she might not be an escort again.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Or like lobbyists or some, people that have money.
So, I guess there's a situation going on with robocalls right now using AI, pretending to be Joe Biden, calling Democrats and telling them not to vote or not to vote on a certain day. Mike Lindell selling my knee pads, lucky girl. Really up and lucky girl, you guys going to timeout right now.
Brilliant.
Oh, you guys.
My knee pads. Oh, Lord. That probably would be very successful for Mike Lindell. Be the spokesperson for my knee pads.
What was that? You froze. Hold on. What'd you say?
Okay.
You're all jumbled up and frozen.
Still from.
There you go.
There you go. Now you're back.
My screen keeps jumping, so it must be me. It's still doing it now. Okay. Am I here now?
Yeah, you're here. We can see you.
We were just talking about yesterday, me, Tia, and Jace. We're talking about Vince McMahon, the CEO, president of World Wrestling Entertainment. And they often compare Vince McMahon and Donald Trump because they are very, very, very similar. One's just a little more well-groomed than the other. And Vince McMahon still has his abilities about him, I guess. But he has been caught up in sex trafficking charges now, and a whole it's a whole big case right now, and his life is mirroring Donald Trump's. Like they are neck and neck for worst person in the world right now. And what's crazy is you have Vince McMahon who got on TV and would literally pull his pants down to have people come back to his company, would have to kiss his behind on TV. It's like his actual butt on TV.
Are you serious right now?
Yes. They'd have to get on their knees, mykneepads.com, and do this. And Lauren Boebert and Mike Lindell could sell such a thing because that's what you have to now currently do to Donald Trump. So I'm telling you, their lives are running right side by side. So my knee pads may not be such a bad idea.
Yeah, it might not be too far off. Remember,
because they're doing it anyway, just without the knee pad.
Remember all them times when Trump was president and The Onion, the satire online website that just made up all sorts of stuff. They would make shit up and then months later it would happen. Like, like you can't, like, it's a level of crazy that it's just, I can see it. Like Johnny just said, my knee pads, I can see it.
Mm-hmm. And Vince McMahon got caught up with the charges and all that. Why? Because he stopped paying the person he was paying, just like Donald Trump.
So my question is with the circling back to the AI robocalls that are telling Democrats, it sounds just like Joe Biden. They're making a bunch of calls. I'm not sure what states they've been recorded calling, but they're telling Democrats not to vote on election day, that the election is being extended for them to vote on. So basically misinforming voters.
Yeah.
So will the people that are running this misinformation campaign be caught? I mean, we know that there's going to be consequences, legal consequences, because those other guys that were doing the fake robocalls.
Yeah, they're saying they did it in New Hampshire.
Yeah, they got arrested. You know, so will the people behind the Biden AI robocalls, will they be
brought to justice?
Brought to justice. Thank you, Jenny.
Lucky girl. MyKneepads.com. Buy 2 and get the 3rd one free because Blowbert can't count. How many knees does Boober have?
Oh, Lord. It's for all those one-legged prostitutes out there. You got to include everybody.
One-legged prostitutes.
You buy 2 for you, 1 for your friend. Will they be brought to justice?
Kathy is saying it's 24-24 right now. Lions in San Francisco.
A couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, you're kind of freezing up again. Say that again.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I said, but I'm going to look at this. Justice. Why can't you just do an election and just let people vote in the end? Like,
they know that
if you feel as though you have to cheat, then maybe something is wrong with your platform.
Yes.
3 of Cups, 2 of Wands. There are plans to do more because there's the group and blah, blah, blah. King of Swords and 4 of Wands. This is meant to help the air sign man, as we know. Ace of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. There is someone behind this. This has been done before, or they have used these people before, or something of that nature. But yes, the Emperor and the Knight of Swords, there's some sort of like raid or swoop down type of thing. But yes, there is a closing in of this in particular thing. It is going to be quite dramatic too. Maybe it doesn't really need to be, but it's going to be, I think, like guns drawn type of thing, because that's probably not the only thing they're doing there. But yes, I do think so.
Yeah, they're going to regret this. And I get Republicans are behind the planning of this. So It may take a little while to bring everything out to light, because right now everything's kind of covered up. But I get there's like an abundance of these people that are sneaking around and causing this chaos. And I also get that there might be some law changes around AI because of this. But I do think these people, they're going to get like surprise rated or something, completion done, toast. Watch out for this to increase like around election time. But yeah, they're going to suffer.
I get a yes. A team of, I haven't fed her, no. A team of thieves trying to delay or obstruct something, trying to steal it, cause problems. But yes, they get caught in the end. I mean, they did this before, and the people got caught and busted, and I think they're in jail already or prison or whatever. I mean, like, what makes you think you're not going to get caught? Like, they're not smart. Okay,
they think because like there's so many scammers, that take advantage of older people financially and get away with it, that are based overseas. They think they can get away with this, and it's like, no, they're going to start cracking down on a lot of these scammers.
Yeah, we're not the people that you tell us to go drink hydroxychloroquine and we go poison ourselves with stuff for your fish tank. Okay, we're not those people. We check and verify. Okay, like, your type of reasoning does not work over here. We're logic and fact.
I just seen a picture. It was hilarious. It said Clorox chewables.
For entertainment purposes only.
It said you might not die, or you won't die, maybe, or something like that. I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I'm telling you, these people are just they're just dumb. They're dumb. So my next question, back to the Orange Menace. I think I'm keeping a tally. The first defamation case against E. Jean Carroll, it was 10 million, right? Or was it 8 million?
5 million, I think.
5 million. And like Johnie was saying earlier, he took that 5 million and turned it into $83 million and lost it.
And now he owes 89. And he has to put up a bond for that before he can even file an appeal.
So here's the thing. He's looking at 88 million just with E. Jean Carroll. Letitia James is looking at, she's
370.
350 million for the state of New York.
Yeah, 370. Yeah.
So
there's another picture, and that was hilarious too. It looked like an award show, and it had Stormy Daniels saying who's going to get paid by Donald Trump, and the winner is. It's Stormy Daniels, Alina Habba, Letitia James, and E. Jean Carroll. It's like one of these women, and then Melania Trump. One of these women are going to get paid by Donald Trump.
So he's I forget the lady's name, but she's a reporter for the New York Times, I think. She's the one that went through all of Trump's financials.
Yeah,
she's got the curly hair. She went through his taxes, and she's the one that discovered that, he's only been paying $720, and the amount of fraud that he was committing for decades, tax fraud, insurance fraud, bank fraud, all sorts of fraud. She was speculating that according to his own paperwork via Weiselman or whatever, the person or whatnot, he doesn't have that money. He doesn't have the $350 million to pay back New York, plus the $88 million he owes E. Jean Carroll, plus whatever money he owes Stormy Daniels, plus whatever money he owes to, because I think Michael Cohen is suing him too. Like, he doesn't have the money, is what they're saying. So my question is, and she was speculating that he's going to have to start liquidating his assets. So, and like Jennie was saying, he has to put up a bond before he can appeal on 88 million.
They were saying they're filing an appeal Monday. No, he doesn't have 89 million to put up in bond.
And guess what? You bankrupted the RNC, so it's not like they have the 89 million or any anything remotely close to that to bail your ass
And I
out.
dare you to use your campaign finance fund to put up a bond. I dare you. I double dog dare you.
And your stupid trailer park trash supporters don't have that kind of money to bail you out. And the reporter was saying that this is not money that he could raise off of his base and use them to pay for it. So like create some sort of a campaign or whatever, not a campaign fund, but something similar to that, where he can just crowdsource from the MAGA morons and use their income to pay. That's not allowed via the law. So is he going to have to liquidate his assets to pay all these financial?
Well, she can start getting liens against his properties too to make sure she gets some money out of it. Force him to sell. So, is he going to come up with the money to pay?
Because according to that reporter, the law does not allow him to use other people's money to pay.
It's like Ruby Freeman and
Shay Moss,
Shay Moss having to do liens against Giuliani to make sure that they're going to see something.
Spotless clean.
This first card, okay. I think he'll come up with it. The Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, he either gets it from some child or there's like something that he could liquidate. The King of Pentacles and the Four of Cups, he's got money that he does not want to use for these types of things. So it's just like Rudy Giuliani has money sitting somewhere. It's just the rest of they all have money sitting somewhere that they pay no taxes on. And if they ever had to, evacuate to the bomb shelter, then they can go and stay warm and burn hundreds of dollars of bills or something. Because I get the Five of Cups. This is not the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles would indicate lack, love, and poverty and loss and things like that. This is regrets and sadness. So it's like he's disappointed that he has to do this, but he does. Because in the end, I get Temperance. So he'll find a way to balance the scales, if you will. Word of warning is the Fool. So it's all him. Did it to yourself.
Doesn't have the money. And he's going to lay low around this while it's going through the courts. But his lifestyle is supported by donations. He's living on charity. He's a loser. He doesn't have the money. Loser Trump. But he's going to manipulate somebody. And I think, somebody's going to give money to Melania to give to him, is what I'm getting.
I get that it's
So
a
they're gonna
woman that manipulated the resources. A woman manipulated the resources and the finances. So perhaps with all them times that they redid the prenup.
He's sitting on some.
Yeah. So here's my next question. So Rudy Giuliani, with that huge fine that he has to pay for Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, which I was so happy about because he basically ruined those two women's lives. He ruined their lives. The lady couldn't even get a job at a freaking, a fast food store. She couldn't get a job because of all
He endangered their lives, which
he endangered their lives, and then was it Ruby Freeman or Shay Moss? I get the two confused. The daughter was looking for a job at a fast food place. She couldn't even get a job there because they had smeared her so much that the guy was like, well, how do I know you're not a fraud? What the fuck? So Rudy Giuliani just went to bankruptcy court. Get this. He claims to have, I think it was like a $10 million home or something like that. Hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. And his income is only $2,000 a month. Somebody make that make sense. Somebody make that make sense. Because if you have a $10 million house, even if your house is paid for, You're still paying insurance for that home. You're still paying for utilities in that home. You're still paying taxes on that home. So if you're only making $2,000 a month, how are you able to afford a $10 million home? Just in utilities alone, you wouldn't have that freaking money. Make that make sense. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a real estate agent. That's not my wheelhouse, but the math ain't mathing. You know what I mean?
$24,000 a year does not support a $10 million home.
And hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, I think he said. You know, so is he lying to the courts about the money that he has?
Let's not forget his son worked in the White House as the sports advisor under Trump.
So does Rudy have the money to pay Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman? All these stupid sons of bitches, man. All these stupid sons of bitches sitting there. Rudy done ruined his whole damn life. And let Donald Trump, who has a history of bankrupting everybody, bankrupt him too. You know, like, but yeah, sure, let's go ahead with Dear Leader.
He's lying to the courts. He's just stalling because he's not accepting, you know, the verdict and everything, and he's trying to protect what he has. This isn't over with. He's going to just keep fighting it, like he doesn't want to give money to them.
Isn't that also a crime though? Like if you falsely try to file for bankruptcy, sure. Isn't that like illegal?
Or you're hiding money somewhere. Like he's got money invested with somebody, whether that's his son or somebody else. He's got a source of steady income. He's lying to the courts. Oh yeah, Wiki just said in the chat, the girl that used to work for him that's suing him because he sexually assaulted or was sexually harassing her, one or the other. He's got money hidden.
There's some woman causing a disruption in that too. That's what that is. But yes, there is poverty, 5 of Pentacles, lying, Page of Swords. There's also something around the value to a property or to some sort of bank accounts. Both of those possibly. Well, I'm going to say both of those that are also being lied about. It is meant to cause confusion or at the very least doubt. And yes, there is a lie about it.
I get that the courts and the law is going to find out the truth and bust him on it. He's got it. The ring, which would be things of value. So whether it's fancy suits and fancy jewelry and property, whatever that he can sell, he has it. It's things of value. It's not cash, but it's things of value. There's the government and the courts, and then there's the answer, the access to it. So
at one time he had a $10 million home in the Hamptons and a $6 million apartment in Manhattan. So, and that's just what we know about. So.
What we know about, yeah. So let me see. What's my next question? Okay, so we asked about E. Jean Carroll. Elise Stefanik has been
Terry, he probably spends that on hair dye every month anyway.
Seriously. And booze, you know.
Yeah, he drinks more than $2,000 a month, especially if he's hanging out in New York bars because they charge you a lot for a drink.
And you know he's not going for that cheap stuff. He's going for top shelf, crazy, you know, $1,000 worth of booze, you know. So Elise Stefanik, I guess, in an interview a week or two ago, had said that the January 6th Capitol rioters are political prisoners and all this other stuff. And she has since then retracted her statements, and everything that she posted on Twitter just quietly deleted, disappeared. And Liz Cheney, who I am no fan of, has been calling out Elise Stefanik. So my question is, what happens to Elise Stefanik? Because she's been the #1 cheerleader for spreading misinformation as far as leadership in the Republican Party. Not Marjorie Taylor Greene's, not the others, but her being in a leadership position.
Wants to be the VP choice for Trump, probably.
Are you in a rush to go to prison yourself? Because everybody around him is going to prison. Like Johnie said, the lemmings, the guys, they're just, what was that fairy tale, Jennie, about the guy with the flute with the rats, and he got them all.
Piper.
Piper.
Yeah, the Pied Piper. There you go. There's Donald Trump.
What is she? Why is she a name? What does she do?
She's like the second. She's behind the Speaker of the House, so she's below him. So she's like, I think she might be the whip or something.
There's a huge loss in power coming your way. This may take a year. Well, of course, it's probably yes, because you're not going to lose the house. But there's a huge loss in power there, but there's a loss of influence too. Something. There's a tide shifting within the Republican structure, and it is simply because of who you are connected with. That person or persons leave you for whatever reason. So you serve a purpose for a little bit here with the Lover's card, and then there's some abandonment with the 8 of Cups, and it is for riches or donations or something like that. But there's a lot of loss coming your way. Actually, it starts that way and it ends that way, and it's around power and influence with the Magician card. Swords are not the kindest of suits, period, but these are not the ones that you want, especially surrounding the Magician. And it has something to do again with the structure Republican Party too. So, and the House in the warning.
Her celebrity is going to be constricted because of her association with Trump. So moving forward, I get that there's a man that kind of comes out of nowhere is what I'm hearing, that will defeat her in the elections. So it's just a matter of time, all of her manipulations and everything. She may end up with some court issues. She's gonna go into fundraising or lobbying also. She's gonna go into something with money, making connections.
Re-election.
I feel like she'll end up as a lobbyist.
Here's the thing: when Kevin McCarthy quit, actually when he was ousted, and then they took 2 weeks to find a new speaker in Moses Mike, everybody was saying Kevin McCarthy was a critical fundraiser for the Republican Party. MAGA Mike doesn't have those contacts, nor does he have the clout to sort of do that, and neither does Elise Stefanik. So it's like, whatever, girl. So I get the whip, the letter, the clover, the tree in the house. There's going to be a lot of criticism towards her that's written, criticizing her results or whatever. I do know that Dan Goldman just brought something up to have her censured for something that she said. I'm not sure if it was in regards
because she supports the January 6th people. Like, she doesn't want them called terrorists. She calls them what is it? She calls them
political prisoners or something.
Political prisoners. Yeah.
Sounding a lot like Marjorie Taylor Greene there, aren't you? I get that there's a lot of criticism coming her way that's written. But her opportunity is going to significantly she's very opportunistic, and her chances of them growing.
She calls them hostages. Thank you guys in the chat.
the chances of her growing in the House, no. So I wouldn't be surprised after next elections if the Dems are able to flip the House, if there's this coming her way. Some sort of a critical report or something with her name on it. So, but by all means,
Maybe
go
she's got ties to Rona McDaniels. And
yeah,
stuff,
maybe
too.
she's on the phone too. You know.
I mean, I guess it has to be, because I don't believe personally, just to me personally, I don't believe in free will, because things are scripted in your wheel of fortune up there in the planets and all that. There is this thing of these people blindly following him because they literally drank the Kool-Aid in this new cult nowadays. I wonder what it is in their chart that would say you are going to crash and burn because of this one person. Like, why can't you avert that? Like, why?
But Johnie, here's the thing. She is an Ivy League lawyer. She knows what she's doing. She knows that Donald Trump is a criminal. She knows he's behind the January 6th insurrection. She knows all the criminality that took place while he was in. She knows everything. But she still defends it for her own opportunistic political gain. So, like you were saying,
you're going to lose everything for a person who gives you nothing.
A person who has a track record of getting everybody else around him in trouble, indicted, throw everybody under the bus, and yep, that's my guy. Like, are you in a rush to go to prison? Like, are you like what? What the hell? You know, or are you that arrogant? Are you that arrogant that you think that you are untouchable because you're a member of the House? You know, like I don't understand it. So, anyways, I got another question here.
Well, thank you, Lucky Girl.
Oh, thanks, Lucky. So, Moses Mike over there wandering around in the desert, never finding the promised land, gave the game away that they're not going to do anything on immigration because Donald Trump told them not to because he wants to campaign on it. Don't fall out your chair, Johnie, but Mitch McConnell had a few words to say about that, as did Mitt Romney. They called it appalling, and I guess they used some other choice words, that they're politicizing the issue to help a candidate under 91 felony charges while hurting America to score political points. So the game, they gave the game away. So
they're getting tired of the Freedom Caucus, I think.
They have nobody to blame but themselves.
That's right.
Because they nurtured that crazy to remain in power. So that's your Frankenstein. Deal with it.
Twice they could have impeached and removed.
Keep in mind,
Twice.
They have a problem with it because he said it out loud. The Republican Party has been this party for a while because when you have an environment where a thing is allowed, like mold, a thing is allowed to grow and flourish, it does not grow and flourish in an environment where it cannot sustain, where it has no chemical reactions to help it grow or even help it exist. It only exists in places where it can grow. And in the Republican Party, this MAGA belief, this racist belief, this one America only belief, this old-fashioned, and anyway, that type of belief exists in that party because it is able to be sustained by the people in it because everybody thinks just the same. And so Donald Trump is not unique. Donald Trump's not even the problem. The problem is at the base, the people who keep voting for these weirdos. Not to mention, they always was this way, but they never said it out loud. Donald Trump came along and exposed the monsters during the swamp. He just pulled the water back. He didn't take the creatures out. Now you see them and they're like, put the water back, please. We were hiding here for the last 200 years just fine. So none of them are wanting to do anything on immigration because all of them want to run on it, not just Donald Trump.
And then they don't want to fix the problem.
He was president. Y'all could have done something about it, and you didn't.
And here's the thing. I thought Donald Trump built a big, beautiful see-through wall. Are you telling me the big, beautiful see-through wall didn't work, or that he never built it? Because why are we still having this immigration problem if Jesus over there, Orange Jesus in Mar-a-Lago, built that big, beautiful see-through wall?
Thank you.
Make it make
Never
sense.
want to do anything about immigration. Joe Biden is like, okay, here you go. Here's the bill. Here's the money. Here's the this. And you're like, no, we don't want that because
Yeah, no, we don't want that. No, the Border Patrol people don't want extra money. They don't want extra agents. No, we're not going to do this because Trump told us not to do this so he can campaign on it. So that you guys have something to complain about. So, you know, we all know that the guy's an idiot. They're more than likely going to lose the House next year. My question is, now that it's making its way to the Senate, where the serious senators are getting pissed off that Donald Trump is pulling the strings, Donald Trump, who lost them the House, the White House, and the presidency, is still pulling the strings and about to lose them the House again and the presidency and probably more seats in the Senate. That loser is still controlling the party. So my question is, I don't know if the Senate can go and talk to Mike Johnson and tell him, like, yo, you need to get your shit together, you know, or what that dynamic is like. Because I know McCarthy used to talk to McConnell. You know, I don't know what agreements were made, but are the serious senators or other serious Republicans going to tighten the reins on what's his face, on Moses? Because he's costing them a lot.
It used to be Mitch had quite a control over the House, like when what's his name, Paul Ryan was in there. You know, they would meet and everything, and he would get him to toe the line, and he has no control over him now. It's like a bunch of kids with a substitute teacher.
A bunch of illiterate kids with a substitute teacher, Jenny, because the whole thing with we're not going to open up an impeachment inquiry, what happened? They all towed the line. Even the 18 vulnerable Republicans in Biden districts shut up and towed the line. Even though they know this is going to come back to smack them in the elections, they towed the line. So it's like,
McConnell is now, you know, saying though that well, there's differing views now, so he's sort of like letting them do their thing. I think he's lost control and he doesn't know how to get it back.
Well, he's part of the person that created that monster. And all the other monsters in the Republican Party because of his need for control and power.
Yeah.
You know? And isn't it funny that the two people that started the Freedom Caucus, Paul Ryan and McCarthy, are now out of the party? Like the Frankenstein came out and bit him in the ass for both of them?
There is a need and desire to separate from Donald Trump. There's the Moon, Donald Trump, Three of Swords, and the Empress. In order for a new creation or to start something new, they do not know how to do that, though. Because it's not just McConnell going to the Mount of Moses, trying to get him to move one way or the other. Is trying to remove the influence of the ugly one from that party. Because that magician and that Ace of Swords is in the word of warning. He has no power in this. Like this is not happening by accident. This is deliberate. This is fated even. This is where your party is supposed to be right now. And you got to take it because you had the chance. As I said, every single week, God gives you the out. You had two of them. You had more than two. You had more than just him being impeached. You could have done something in the beginning to make sure he didn't run, period, or to make sure he wasn't the nominee, or to make sure when he was president that you did what you needed to do to get him out, because he didn't just break the law once. He was called to task by Nancy Pelosi. He could have been called to task by y'all, and then something could have happened. So you got to take this one. This is your L, and I hope you enjoy it because you're going to have it for the next 16 years. And so you have no power, and that influence is here to stay, even when he dies.
You know, it's like this is what Russia wanted too, right? It's like, let's create, chaos in DOJ and the government, and that's where they sit. That's where their money sits. That's where they sit. That's been their plan, their scheme all along. And delay. They want to destroy the government. They want to have a authoritarian regime, come in. But at the same time, they also know it's only a matter of time before all the secrets about Trump comes out. But there's foreign influence on the Republican Party. So I get, we as a country are secure and strong and everything because we will partner together to get the people in that do what the average man wants to do. I don't feel like democracy is going to lose on this one, but they're doing exactly what they've planned on doing. They were doing this back in the 50s. They were doing it back, when they were doing the communism scare and everything.
Yeah.
Look at Rachel Maddow's new book. It's awesome.
McCarthyism,
and even before that, there's.
But see, here's the thing: they weren't this fucking crazy, though, Jen. It's just like Mitch McConnell, because of his ambition and his greed of power, like he's a power hungry person. He has done more damage to this country over decades than Donald Trump could have done in 4 years. Donald Trump just flourished in that environment because nobody held him accountable and they just let him do whatever the hell he wanted to do because they were benefiting from it and they were in power. And while you're looking over there, you're not going to see what we're doing back here because we're the ones that really run the show. So it's just.
There's been pro-fascism in this country. I was watching a special on PBS that was talking about, prior to World War II, I forget the name of the group. It was a German group that came in America that was anti-Jewish, and only wanted white people immigrating into the U.S., European white people. And it's been around for decades. It's nothing new, but it rears its ugly head every now and then.
And that's the party that has nurtured that for their own political gain. Instead of saying that's disgusting, we don't tolerate that here, it's no, they feed into it. With Reagan and the welfare queens, he wasn't talking about white trash. He was talking about the black folk and other brown immigrants, like
America First. It was a pro-fascist movement here in America, and there were thousands of people that belonged to it. Thousands.
So anyway,
and I don't even have a. You can be America First, sure. Take care of our own streets, our own education, our own healthcare, our own blah blah blah. That does not mean America only. And that thing of America First has nothing to do even with America. What you're saying is my neighborhood, my people that look like me first, and then everybody else fit for yourself. Bootstraps.
Yeah. And here, Julie, the Bund organization. I mean, you want to read up on this? Read about the Bund organization. There was a great special on PBS about it. Scary crap. It was going on in the 30s and 40s.
And for what Johnie was saying, America First, go ahead and kick out all the immigrants out there doing backbreaking labor in the fields to get your food for less than minimum wage. Go ahead and and no benefits. Go ahead and do that, white guy, because America First. Come get the F out of here. So what happens to Mike Johnson? I get the book, the site, the house, the letter, and the fish. There's a secret that's about to be revealed that puts the onus and the target on a lot of people in the Republican Party, the people in the majority. Scythe and letter, that's like an indictment or an impeachment. Not saying anybody in the House is going to get impeached or expelled, but and it's knowledge within certain members of that House that are in the majority. But there's a lot of people there, and it's a secret that endangers members of the House. See? Secret, rupture, reveal, danger, members of the House. So have fun with that. Can't wait for those indictments to start coming in. Oh, you guys want to talk about the drug problem in the White House under the Trump administration?
Oh, the hundreds of thousands of dollars they spent just in the 2 years that were looked at.
Ambien,
This one.
Ambien, fentanyl, ketamine, morphine. Like there's a laundry list of drugs, and it was that Navy guy that was in charge. Thank you, I can't pronounce Roberta. It was that Navy guy that was drunk all the time. That Admiral was it Ronnie Johnson? What was his name?
Yeah, it's now out in Texas as a representative or something.
Yeah, hundreds of millions of dollars in just handing out controlled substances like candy. Ineligible staff members going to military hospitals for specialty care, which is a huge no-no. I mean, what the F? And that was only that report only covered 2 years?
Yeah, it only covered 2 years, and I think it was, well, it goes back a little bit further, so I think it went back to like 2006, 2007, that they've always had some problems with that pharmacy in the White House, but the big issue was 2017, 2018. As soon as Trump comes in, all of a sudden it's like, $150,000 spent, on 2 drugs alone, not counting all the other medications.
Yep. I mean, holy hell. Fentanyl, the ones that they like to scream about, illegal immigrants and all this other stuff bringing in. Meanwhile, Ronnie Johnson over there is just like, here you go, fentanyl for everybody, stock up. Like, what the hell?
There's a woman somewhere in California. I did a reading on her. She was some ranking officer in the police department. She was bringing in fentanyl. So this is not some foreign menace. These are the people in the backyard.
Yeah. Because it's easier to scapegoat the brown people from abroad than the sleazy, crooked white people in positions of power. So
it's so funny. Like they're always talking about Mexicans. It's not Mexicans. They're the immigrants that are coming in are coming from like Venezuela and Guatemala and other places in South America.
Head of the police.
Very few of them are Mexican.
Yeah.
So what was our question?
Well, my question is, that happened under Ronnie Johnson or Ron Johnson or whatever the hell his name is.
Jackson, they're saying in the chat, Ronnie Jackson.
Yeah, they're saying that he's a senator in Texas.
Dr.
Is he going to be investigated for this? Because
isn't he the one that did the cognitive test too?
I'm not sure.
Woman.
He's on film yelling and screaming belligerently at cops because he got pulled over for a DUI. Do you know?
Didn't he?
No.
He pulled a Hobart. Don't you know who I am?
So I want to know, is he going to get investigated?
He's the one that said Donald Trump's the healthiest president that's ever been, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or he's healthy and strong and could live forever. Or something. The other guy with the long hair said he's the healthiest president.
So will he be investigated?
Oh, good God.
Do you hear Braxy out there barking?
Oh.
Barking at the neighbor's dog who's barking.
They're having a chat. I don't get investigation because I don't get any justice or anything like that. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. It just mean it didn't come up in this spread because I got nothing but pentacles though. So there's a reason to, because I get the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles to start with. So we're talking big money here. And then there is something around the establishment there too. This is a network of money. So this is not just something that was given out to, this was sold. Like this was used to make profit from. There's the death in the sun, so there will be some exposure, a lot of more exposure on this too, because we have some confusion around schedules. So timelines of the things, as in you have things that come in and they're scheduled to go out at a certain time, but the turnaround is too fast. Like there's something suspicious around the records and the dates and that type of thing. There's something very, very, very suspicious around it actually. And it ends in the Page of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. And so we have a lot more documents here with the Page of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles, a lot of pills, not just pills, but it's an abundance of things. It's not just medicine. It's a bunch of crap. Like this is complicated. This is like more complicated than just abusing the office or abusing the drugs, or this is a system of something. Like it's interwoven into something else. Like it's almost like this is the front, and then in the back there's the casino, and then in the back of that there's the drug house. It's like it's a whole different little pipeline of garbage. But
so you're saying that kind of like how when dirty cops set up a drug trafficking situation, but they try to pin it on the common gangs, but meanwhile they're the ones that are pushing all the stuff out into the streets and making all the money.
And it's meant to look like something else. But this is more diverse than just this car's gonna get a work tonight. It is more diverse than just that. Like it's a big deal.
And there's like AIDS and stuff involved. Like, okay, it'd be like Cassidy Hutchinson gets a prescription, but it's actually for Mark Meadows. It's that kind of thing. Like people are using lower down people to cover it up. There's big, like they're looking into this already, but it's all confusion and everything because it's a mess. I get, yes, someone will have a problem with this, but there's illnesses that they're getting prescriptions for that they're going to regret getting prescriptions for, like they didn't really have it. Something is definitely going to come up in the courts, and I get there's thievery around like COVID treatments. That's my COVID card.
Surprise!
Bullying people or bullying the pharmacists to do something. They're not done with this yet, but there's definitely partnership with younger people that were naive about what was going on, like shifting the blame onto them. Like, oh, that was,
I get the clouds, the key, and the tower. This is already being looked into by whatever organization this is. I don't know if this would be like the DEA or the Inspector General. It's an official government body that's looking into it, and they're going to get answers. Because, I mean, this is big, huge trouble. Big, huge trouble. So have fun.
It goes back to all their sex parties they had and
but please tell me about Hunter Biden being an addict, and meanwhile you guys are over there partying with controlled substances because your buddy that's running whatever department is just handing them out like candy.
So probably had all kinds of opioids and everything else.
What makes you any different to Hunter Biden then? Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's freaking gross. So anyways,
addiction is addiction, whether it's prescription or off the streets. It's still addiction.
So Alina Habba, I don't have to be smart. I can always fake being smart. I would rather be pretty. That Alina Habba, I guess she pissed off the judge and Goron in court the other day because she was talking all sorts of smack, and I think the judge told her to shut up a couple times. I was listening.
She doesn't even know how to behave in court. Like, if you're saying something, that you're supposed to stand up and say it.
And here's the thing. I was listening to E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, and she was saying that she has never in her entire career seen a legal team show so much disdain and disrespect to the court and the judge than the clown show that was the Donald Trump defense team. Which, let's not kid anybody, those lawyers were acting fools to appease Donald Trump. I mean, they're probably horrible human beings, but at the end of the day, they were doing it to appease Donald Trump for his show, But my question is Judge Engoron going to refer Alina Habba for any type of disciplinary action based on her behavior in his courtroom?
And the fact he had to keep teaching her how to lawyer.
Sorry, it was Judge Kaplan. My apologies.
Yeah, Kaplan. Engoron's on the fraud trial. Which will be the next thing that'll probably get ruled on this week. Thank you, Carlin.
I get a big old yes. A passionate woman suffers. She's gonna be held to disciplinary action one way, shape, or form, either through some sort of a fine. I only pulled 3 cards. Can you guys go ahead? I gotta get Braxy before she wakes up the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, they're gonna restrict her somehow. He may wait to see, like, if she files an appeal. He's got some options, but I get, like, in time, yeah, he's gonna put a nail in her coffin for something about the way she argues in court and burden the crap out of her. There's going to be some kind of restriction on her, so whether she's, like, told she can't practice in the state of New York or something like that, there's some kind of restriction put on her. He's waiting to see if she puts in an appeal before he does anything, though.
There's some admonishing of some sort here. 4 of Cups in the Sun. Like, she has to, mind you, it means nothing to her necessarily. She will live to regret such a thing, though. But as of right now, with the 4 of Cups in the Sun, she's sort of ignoring. She's being emboldened to be that bold by Donald Trump, because Donald Trump thumbs his nose at everything. At the end of the day, her reputation is tied to his wins and losses, but his wins and losses comes out of his pocket. So he can tell her to be as horrible in court as he wants to, but he still, in the end, is the one that has to pay for that. Her reputation, again, rather be pretty than smart, she can always go and try to do something else. She probably wants to be a reality star or something anyway. So it's this is going to affect her in the end, yes, because this is how life works, and she's going to reap these seeds at some point. But as of right now, I don't think she cares until it becomes too hard to ignore. You have the 6 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. She will be given something that throws her out of whack and out of balance. Again, I don't think it's not hitting home that this is a serious thing. It's not hitting home that this is shaping your future. I think she may be a little too naive to realize that this is a big deal. And these are the type of people you have to make examples out of, because life has to teach them, and it has to teach them the hard way. Because she could learn, because again, God gives you the out. She can learn not to build this in particular tower on this in particular sand, but she's doing it anyway. So, like I said, when it comes to the tower, trace it back, see where you went wrong. Hiring you, or you being Donald Trump's lawyer, was your start. That's where you went wrong first. And then this childish behavior here in the courtroom, she will be tempered. But again, will it matter?
This is a highly educated woman. I want to know, did she like pay somebody off to pass the bar exam? Because the way she acted in court, it's like there's no way she passed the bar exam on her own. Did she pay somebody off or bribe somebody to get a pass on the bar exam? '49ers won. They came back, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. 34-31.
49ers and the Chiefs. I might have to root for the Chiefs just because of Taylor Swift.
I can't do it.
Just because of how dirty they did Kaepernick and Coach Harbaugh too.
F. Kaepernick, red and gold all day.
I just saw something on Twitter that they're wanting him to be on the coaching staff for it used to be the San Diego Chargers. I think it's the LA Chargers now.
LA Chargers, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I mean, I stand with what he did, but he was not the greatest football player. Just want to throw that out there for y'all.
Johnny, he was really good to look at.
He was
Did you see that GQ
he was
spread?
covered in armor on the field, so it didn't really help.
Did you see the GQ spread of him though? When he was on the magazine? Oh my God. On the Google machine after and look up the pictures. He's completely naked, but is covering up his parts and stuff. But oh my God.
I think the bar exam was a difficult journey for her, and all the details on the exam, she didn't finish it. She didn't pass it. And then I get in secret, she paid somebody off. She laid low, and there's subterfuge on this. But she looked out for somebody that could, and I get a big old yes. She found somebody that could pass it. Or somebody that would make it look like she passed it.
What did you get, Johnny?
No, she passed it, but it took her a very long time. I don't know how many times she had to take it, or if she just took but whatever it was, she took a very long time to do so. With the 7 Pentacles, there was a careful thing about it.
I get that she made it by the skin of her teeth, and she had to repeat it or do it more than once.
She's an idiot. I mean, the bar is supposed to be difficult to pass anyway, but still, she's an idiot.
Anybody? Yeah. Who? I'm just going to shut up right now. Okay. So a judge has ruled that the Fox Corporation must face Smartmatic's $2.7 billion defamation suit, denying the motion to dismiss defamation claims against Fox News's parent company. I want to know, is Smartmatic going to get more money than Dominion did?
700 million.
It was 780 something or 700.
Yeah, it's almost $1 billion.
So will Smartmatic get more money than Dominion?
Because there's a precedence now.
Mm-hmm.
Take all their money, put them out of business, please.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sad part that there's still a conservative media out there, but take it. Okay. Well, maybe not more than, but the Temperance in the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune, it is still quite a significant amount. Maybe somewhat matching that which was done in the past. So maybe something around that.
I get it's going to be a little bit less I get the mountain, the whip, and the clouds. No, but it shows a pattern. There's already a pattern to this, a pattern to the gaslighting, the caca slinging, and then I pulled one more. It's smaller, so I'm with Johnie on this one. The same.
I think it'll be like slightly smaller, but by the time the court goes through, like there's going to be charges for other people that partnered with Fox on this. By the time they get all the connections, it's going to be higher. So it's going to be a good chunk of change. The direct one to Fox will be a little lower, but by the time they get the abundance of people involved, in this, they're going to get more money, is what I'm getting. So like the Rudy Giuliani's and the
Michael Lindell
and
yeah. So
there's a reason countries ban Fox News.
Yep. So I only have 3 more questions. Are you guys down?
Sure.
Okay. So a Republican judge in Illinois has ruled that Trump participated in an insurrection and incited the insurrection. The judge found that Donald Trump is disqualified under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. So they're looking to ixnay on the fixay for Spanky on the ballot. So
and Hawaii is also looking at taking him off.
And I think we are here too in California. The lady came back and said, no, they're going to keep him on the ballot. Not that he would win California anyways, but come on now. So all of this stuff, we're still waiting on the Supreme Court, because how many states is it now? We have Colorado that led the charge, correct?
Colorado, and what was the other one that did it?
There was another state.
It's one up in the north, isn't it? Didn't they, or are they still going back and forth with it?
Or Maine? I can't remember. Massachusetts? I can't remember.
So there's
guys. I can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, there's more and more states where it's going up to the judges, and they're saying, no. Meanwhile, we're still waiting on the Supreme Court to hear the case. So
they're saying Maine in the chat. So
Maine,
Colorado, and Maine that have already.
Colorado, Maine, now Illinois is jumping on the bandwagon. So, and I think, wasn't Pennsylvania on it too, or were they starting to do the paperwork to get him off the ballot? Anyways, I want to know, will Trump be on all the ballots for the election? So I guess framing it that way, it'll cover the Supreme Court's decision and all that stuff. So will he be on all the ballots?
You got the issue, like keeping him off the primaries versus the general election in November. Will they have to battle it again to keep him off that one, versus the primaries? Although I would think if you're allowed to keep him off the primaries, you can keep him off the generals too.
Yeah, because it's the same, the argument stands that because he incited an insurrection, he participated in it. So why would you take him off the primary, but then let him be on the general when it's still the same that he incited an insurrection? Like, that doesn't make sense. So will he be on all the ballots come election time?
November, because early election starts here in October.
What card is that?
5 of Pentacles, that's a no. This is lack and loss.
I get a no. I get that ship has sailed.
I get the devil no. It's going to be a woman.
No, Spanky.
He loses. No. He's a loser.
Loser. Okay, let me see. Got one more question, then I'm down for a petty question. Okay. So the Oklahoma Republican Party has passed a censure resolution condemning their GOP Senator James Lankford for the crime of ignoring Trump's orders and working with Democrats on a bill that would dramatically increase security at the border. They are quoted as having said, until Senator Lankford ceases from these actions, the Oklahoma Republican Party will cease all support for him. That's what the resolution states. So, to repeat, the Oklahoma Republican Party has censured Senator James Lankford for supporting Biden on the immigrant situation. So what happens now? Because I mean, this is ridiculous. They're censuring their own people for doing the right thing, for not listening,
For doing his job.
for doing his job, and for not listening to the criminal in Florida. Okay.
They bitch and bitch and bitch about the border, and then they don't want to do anything because then they have nothing to bitch.
And then anybody that does say something, we're going to censure you.
So what's the question?
So what happens now? Because they're censuring their own people over the GOP not taking the marching orders from Trump. And
a censure is just a slap on the wrist.
I know it's a slap on the wrist, but
it's still a move that's unnecessary.
It's just confirming what we've already known, and everybody else is pissed off about that. Donald Trump is running a proxy operation of leadership for the Republican Party at the expense of the country to score political points. Yes, Valerie, a shadow government. Exactly. It's a proxy situation. Mind you, from the genius that lost you the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Okay, what'd you get, Johnny?
It's going to continue because, of course, it is. The mindset is still there, so of course it will. There's the devil and the Six of Wands. Those at the center of attention will find some way to still try to keep people in bondage. Again, they do not want to do anything about the border because that's what they run on, is that the Democrats are weak on immigration. Not to mention that if you did something about the border, you may find out that the thing that you're trying to do is not actually working in the first place. And you need to create another boogeyman. They ain't got one right now. So there's the Tower and the Queen of Cups. The support will always crumble because that's where the money is to sort of keep it secure within trying to bind people and keep people in, again, bondage, keep them in chains, keep them in line, if you will. It'll continue.
And just to clarify real quickly here, Lankford is not really a good person. He was on an interview, I don't know if it was CNN or where, I just saw it on Twitter, where he's all in for child brides, that a 13-year-old is perfectly fine to be in a marriage. And the host was like, even if this applied to your 13-year-old daughter, yeah.
They're okay with child labor too. I get, it doesn't matter because Biden ultimately prevails, but they're moving forward with the messaging about the White House and they're just lying and lying and lying to America. So, they're trying to get behind Trump, the thief and sneaky one and everything, and trying to maintain their power in secret. But they're going to keep doing it. They're just going to keep lying. Propaganda.
I get the scythe, the tower, the moon, the mice, and the child. It's dangerous to the institution, but it's also dangerous to those people that are very ambitious about their fame and their reputation, because it dwindles and they become small. So losses for the party. So have fun with that. Okay, last question, and it's petty. Trailer Park Trash Ted Nugent has come out and said that if Biden wins re-election, he's leaving the country. Which, by all means, please go. Please go.
Got 5 on it. If you need to buy your ticket today, please.
Yes, I'm sure I can crowdsource, and we'll get you a one-way ticket on super first class to get you the F out of the country. But Where would he go? Just for shits and giggles, where would Ted Nugent go?
I'm going to look for the devil card and put a little mark on it so I know where it is.
So where would Ted Nugent go if he were to leave America? Yes, Terry, can you back for him?
That's
Russia?
my Russia card right on the bottom.
Where would Ted Nugent go if he left?
Don't go to Canada. They don't need that.
No, they don't like you in Canada. They're nice, but they'll have a problem with you.
Somewhere he can have sex parties.
He'll go to Tijuana.
So he'll go to Russia and have his own PP tapes.
So where would Ted Nugent go if he left America?
There you go.
Hi, baby. Hello.
Rexy.
Little girl. See my little kid?
Rexy.
See, there's Auntie
Rexy.
Biscuits. And Nanny Biscuits is in the chat, and she says hi, too. Nanny Biscuits is Peggy, Mama. Auntie and Auntie Biscuits and Nanny Biscuits.
The desert. Somewhere very hot, very dry, very burdened by the sun. Someone burdened by the sun. So the desert. Yeah, that'd be all right. Go right in the middle of nowhere, pitch a tent, and stay there.
He's going to go to space. There's space. He's going to go to space. He's going to get some sort of an agreement with a man that's very confused and troubled. So Elon Musk probably
Put him in a SpaceX rocket and send him to the sun. I'm good.
somewhere where there's a lot of gas in space. We're not going to miss.
Watch the rocket blow up out in space.
That's all we got, folks. That's all we got. That's all we got. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Ted Nugent.
Johnny's channel next week. And thank you, Lynn, Lucky Girl, Carol, Roberta, Carlin, all the super chatters.
Mm-hmm. We'll be on Johnny's channel next week. I know I still owe you guys a grand tableau. I can't come on live on Tuesday due to Braxy's school, so probably Wednesday or Thursday or something next week. Anything else? That's it?
That's
all right.
it.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody. Bye.